Welcome to my holiday gift guide. So this is my gift guide culminated of all of the things that I would recommend buying for artists of all ages, mediums, and skill levels. So before I jump right in, I did just want to share that I am wearing the most amazing sweatshirt that I own. It is a penguin. It actually lights up and you can't hear them, but it has bells on it. So that is what I wear over the holidays. Clearly, I do really love penguins, and I am so excited to have this here. But regarding the gift guide, thank you, Elsa. This is my gift guide of gifts at various price points that I think that any artist on your list would enjoy. So I've got gifts for dry mediums, wet mediums, and just supplies that I've used that I've really enjoyed, and other gift giving ideas that, I've experienced myself as an artist, or things that I think that other artists would like. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so jumping into the gift ideas that I have, starting with the gifts under $20. So these would be like stocking stuffers and that sort of thing. The first thing that I have on my list for good stocking stuffers or gifts under $20 are the Derwent graphic pencils. Now, I know that I have recommended these a lot already on my channel, but I truly stand by them. They are phenomenal graphite pencils, and I do just highly recommend them. If you're looking for like a solid set of pencils that's just not going to do you wrong, these are definitely those pencils. On a similar category of sketching, the Tombow Mono Zero erasers are another fantastic, relatively inexpensive gift that I would recommend for this category. Now, these come in multiple sizes, so you see here that I've got a wider one and a smaller one, and then they each also come with replacement nibs so that you have replacements when you need them. These are fantastic for detailed work and just erasing small areas. Number 3 is the Faber Castell Pitt pens. You can get a pack of these for under $20, and these are fantastic lining pens. I highly recommend them. I used them a ton for my Inktober drawings, a sketchbook of which recently went up on my channel, which I will link up above in the cards. I do absolutely love these pens. I use them all the time in my illustrations for inking, and they also do come in, if you know that the person that you're buying for already has a set of lining pens and they wouldn't necessarily need those, they do also come in various colors. So you can get these in gray tones. I bought the gray tone pack here, and then you can also get them in individual colors, which I think is really awesome. My next suggestion is actually for a paper. So for people who like doing, either graphite illustration, marker work, that sort of medium for dry medias, I would highly recommend the Strathmore Bristol paper. I've got the really big size here because I like to cut sections of this. So you'll see that the first page here is actually cut. That's because I cut off sections of these so that I can do all of my graphite portraiture on this paper, because it is a fantastic kind of heavy gauge paper that is very, very smooth. So unlike watercolor, this paper is extremely smooth. That was my crazy cat. The next item on this list, I don't actually have a physical demonstration of it, but it is the Prismacolor Premier Colored Pencils. These are an affordable colored pencil that is fantastic for beginner artists. I had it all the way through my childhood, used them a ton, and would really recommend them for people that are younger or just getting into art, or who have been using like Crayola or cheaper colored pencils and want to kind of upgrade in quality but without too much of an increase in price. And my final real suggestion for this category are the Posca paint markers. Now, I only have the white ones because, again, I used them for my Inktober sketchbook. However, They were a joy to work with. I absolutely loved them and do plan on buying another set soon. And when I was researching items for this video, I found that these two were relatively inexpensive and would make a fantastic gift for anyone who's not tried them yet. I also wanted to talk about some honorable mentions, which are similarly inexpensive. The Master's Touch brushes, I've got the watercolor brushes here, but they also do acrylic and oil brushes as well. These brushes are fantastic at a really low price point. So for people who are, again, younger or are just getting into a painting medium, maybe you're buying them one of the under $50 category paints that I will have listed, and you want to get them an inexpensive set of brushes to go with that. I think that these would be a fantastic choice. The black ones here did come in a set, and the orange ones I actually bought as individual brushes, but they are both the Filbert brushes size 2 and 4, and they are really fantastic as well. And then finally in this category, a very fun gift that I think would be a great one to incorporate if you're getting someone like either pencils, erasers, that sort of thing, markers. A pencil case would be a fantastic gift. Now, you can buy just about anything as a pencil case. I have here two pencil cases that are literally meant to be pencil cases. So this one is by Vera Bradley, and this one came in the Jazza's Arty Art Box. It is by a company named Speedball. But I also have here 3 additional examples that are actually supposed to be makeup bags, and I think that they are just such a great fun gift. I also have, of course, here my favorite one. This is one that I personally use on a daily basis for both art supplies and occasionally travel when I need just like a nice travel bag. It is obviously penguin shaped, so I love it very much. The next category that I have for you is art supplies under $50. So this is a bit more expensive, maybe something for a more serious artist or someone that you already know is very interested in art, or someone that you just want to, splurge on and give a larger art gift to. The first supply that I have in this category is the Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers. So you can buy a 12 set of these markers for under $50. They have a smaller bullet nib and then a really nice brush nib. Now the set that I have is again from the Jazza's Arty Art Box, so it is specific colors to that set. I don't believe you can buy this set individually, but they have so many different sets of markers, and these are fantastic alcohol-based markers. If you're buying for someone who doesn't already own any alcohol-based markers or is interested in using markers but has never experienced these before, I think that they would make a fantastic gift for relatively inexpensive. My next suggestion is the Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolor set. Now I would recommend the 36 color version. I only have the 24 color version here, which is also inexpensive, but you can get more colors for still under $50. So if that's the price point that you're looking to be in, these or the 36 color variety would be a great choice. These are fantastic introductory watercolors. Again, one thing that you could do is pair these with a set of brushes or some of the watercolor paper that I'm going to talk about, and that would make a really nice gift for someone who's getting into watercolor. Along that same vein, if you're buying for someone who already has a nice set of watercolors and might be interested in trying something new, the Arteza Gouache is also a fantastic option. This is, again, relatively inexpensive. These paints work fantastically well and are a great introduction just to gouache paint in general. I do believe that they've changed the packaging on this since I bought my set, so I'm not certain if you click the link below if it will look just like this, but regardless, it should be the same paint, and the paint is really what matters, right? My next suggestion is the Silver Black Velvet brushes. If you are buying for someone who is a serious watercolorist who loves watercolor, these are phenomenal. I would not buy these for a kid or for someone who doesn't know if they like watercolor, or if they're like just starting in watercolor, then they don't really need these. But if you're buying for a watercolorist, 100% recommend these. They hold water amazingly well. They are worth every penny. Truly, they're expensive, but definitely worth it. And then finally in this category, I would also recommend the Arches cold press paper. I have here the 9 by 12 inch version with just the individual sheets. If you want to buy a block of this paper, it is a lot more expensive. It's closer to the $50 mark. This is closer to the $20 mark, so depending on how much you're looking to spend, this would be a great paper option. Another option would be the Hahnemuhle block paper, because that is more like $20 for a whole block of paper, which in my opinion is a better value because blocked paper is just a lot more fun to work on. You don't have to tape it down, it doesn't buckle as much, and it works very well. I personally have used the Cezanne paper. They also have a Harmony line, although I'm not sure what the difference between the Cezanne and the Harmony is. So Harmony is less expensive, but it might not perform as well as the Cezanne. A bonus gift in this category would be the Shinhan Professional Watercolors. I actually recently received these myself as a gift and have been loving them ever since. They are similar, I would say, to the Kuretake Gansai Tambi paint, so that gives you a couple of different options in this price range for watercolor paint. And then the final category that I have is gifts that are under $100. Now, I didn't go into any gifts that are over $100. However, you can scale up the quantities of the next 5 or so gifts to make it over $100. So if you're looking to spend more, these are definitely quality gifts, and a higher quantity will cost you more. The first gift that I have in this category is the Sennelier Aquarelle Professional Watercolor 12 color set. I personally have the 24 color set, but again, the 24 color set will actually run you more than $100, but you can get 12 colors for $100, and I think that this is a fantastic value. Sennelier paints are very high quality, they're light fast, they're very good for glazing techniques, so if you're buying for, again, a serious watercolorist, I think that this would make a phenomenal gift. There are similar paints that I would also recommend. M. Graham & Co. is, again, very expensive. I was originally going to put them in this list, but I couldn't find an affordable set that I really liked or wanted to recommend, so I didn't include them in like the specific numbered list. However, I would also recommend them. Daniel Smith is another popular one. I have not personally used their paints yet though, so I don't feel comfortable recommending them. My next recommendation would be Faber Castell Polychromos colored pencils for anyone who is, again, a more serious colored pencil artist. These colored pencils are fantastic. They come this particular variety is the 12 color set. I would recommend if you're going to be spending in, between the $50 to $100 range, you're probably looking at more like a 24 to 36 color set. But these are such high quality colored pencils and definitely worth the amount of money that you're spending. My next recommendation is a different kind of paint. So far we've had multiple watercolor paints, gouache, but I also wanted to just mention the Liquitex acrylic paint. So I've got both the basics version here, and then I have the artist color. So depending on the type of person that you're buying for, these will be more or less expensive. The heavy body acrylics are extremely expensive, but the basics line is much cheaper, and I would totally recommend this acrylic paint. I've used it several times in several illustrations and have found it to be just a really good standby acrylic paint. The next two items I, again, don't physically have here. This next one is actually something that I personally have asked for from my family for Christmas, so I don't have it yet. I can't adequately recommend it as far as, a gift that I've tried and stand by, but as a gift idea, I figured it would be kind of interesting to include, and that is the Holbein Acrylic Gouache. Everyone in the gouache community seems to use and love this gouache, and I personally am interested in trying it, so I thought that I would recommend it to you as, a more expensive paint option. If you're looking to buy something for someone that you know, they already have watercolors, they already have acrylics, they might even already have gouache. The acrylic gouache is just a little bit different and something that they might not already have. And then finally in this category it would be Copic markers. So Copic markers are the, you know, industry standard best alcohol marker out there, and you can find sets of like the Copic Sketch and Copic Ciao markers out there for less than $100. So if you're, again, buying for someone who loves doing marker illustrations, if they already have, you know, a cheaper set like of the Ohuhu or even the Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers, then upgrading them to a set of Copic markers might be another good way to go. And then lastly, I just wanted to include some like honorable mentions. Every year my dad usually buys me one new art book, and I love this. So I have just a couple of the books that he has bought for me and that I've read and used in my art journey. So we've got Everyday Watercolor by Jenna Rayleigh. This is a great book. It teaches you basically every single step of the watercolor process, and it's just a really fantastic book to kind of go off of. It has different like challenges for each day so that you can follow along and really hone your skills as a watercolorist. I also have a reference book here, Watercolor Flower Painters A to Z. So this is literally just a reference of watercolor flowers and how to paint them. Now, I would never just like use this and post anything to social media about it, but as a reference and as, you know, someone who is interested in botanical paintings, I find that this book is very good. Now for the non-watercolorist, I also have two book recommendations for you. The first one here is a pretty much industry standard at this point, Everyone Can Draw by Barrington Barber. This book goes into so many different elements of drawing, including portraiture, shading, shapes, portraying things in 3D, and a million other things that you can imagine. But this is a fantastic reference. Again, my dad got me this as a gift and I am so thankful for it, and I would highly recommend that, you know, if you're buying for an artist but you don't want to buy them a supply, maybe buy them a new reference book, because that might inspire them to try something new or hone their skills further as an artist. And then the last book that I have here is Drawing School Fundamentals for the Beginner. This is, again, very similar to the Everyone Can Draw book. It goes through like different graphite techniques for just creating like a 3D, more realistic scene. It has been a great reference for me as far as like learning perspective. Perspective is something that I still struggle with, and so I have really enjoyed kind of learning that through this book. It also goes through other things like loosening up, gesture drawing, and values, and how to incorporate different supplies into achieving different values. So highly recommend those books, and would definitely say that they would be a great gift for anyone, you know, looking for more references. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If it helped you at all as far as buying gifts for people or the artists in your life, again, please leave it a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. I post new art and book related videos every Tuesday. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Bye.